Nonexistia, a dimensional phenomenon in a sea of universes. While other realities came into being, growing and creating its own stories, Nonexistia exploded into being, with histories already written, kingdoms already forged, and wars currently being waged. Nonexistia came into being in the middle of a great war. An invading force of mind flayers had come to the surface and was beginning to overrun the overworld. 3 heroes stood up against the menace: Uthal Skyprancer, Aluin Nash, and Leodon Plague. Together, they vanquished the Elder Brain. Mind flayers without their hive mind collapsed, and the war zone in western Nonexistia was dubbed the Mindfield, a tongue-in-cheek reference to the psionic energy that still resides there to this very day. 1 year later, they were called to the mansion, where they encountered the Damned Duke, an invincible being whose immortality was kept a secret. But that secret was not kept for long, for while they were here with the Duke, the mansion doors were thrust open, and a fish-like being cursed the Duke for breaking his promise and his pact. The fish being said his god would now take his very life. In a magical darkness, the mansion was sealed, the damned Duke was destroyed, and the snail approached the 3 heroes. The heroes tried every tactic, every magic, every spell to annihilate this thing, but it was just as immortal as the damned Duke. Fortunately, that is when I intervened. I, Rolam Rengate, along with my father, Atuk Rengate, traveled to this dimension to investigate the weird phenomenon, but inadvertently assisted this party of heroes. After the snail was defeated, we explained the oddity of this reality to them, that while they think the world is much older, it has only been in existence for a year. We then explained the oddity, the discrepancy that was created along with it. The Kuotoa, a race of fish-like beings with the abnormal ability to create gods. Whatever they worship, whether it be a humanoid, an animal, or even an object, that thing will ascend to godhood and grant them magical power. We explained to them the danger of this, that whatever they worship could potentially gain the power to destroy universes and destroy the entire existence as we know it. We then tasked them with a mission to seek out groups of Kuotoa, destroy their gods and them, to save their reality and others. Atuk then tasked me with overseeing this mission and the reality, to assist them with this task. A while after this encounter, a group of mercenaries, Amelia Fawn, Faye, and Sweet Pea, were tasked with looking into a string of disappearances down in southern Nonexistia. Unfortunately, they also became one of the taken. They were taken to the island of Tetra, an isle solely run by females. They had claimed that it was a safe haven, but everything was not as it seemed. There, I reached out to this group of mercenaries, explaining that the island was secretly being run by a group of Kuotoas, who had worshipped and created a god. The island had thought that this Tetra was their gracious ruler, but instead, an evil god bent on destroying the world. The group of mercenaries, after completing a string of challenges, faced this goddess and destroyed her, freeing the island inhabitants from its rule, and they had their safe haven once again. This is the story so far. but I sense a new threat rising up, and soon I will have to call for their aid once again. But I feel what lies in this crackwood, and what horrors they may face.